you're saying Jesus historically absolutely did exist, and we think that this is the shroud that covered him.
There's this rogue who just stumbled upon something totally mind-blowing about Mel Gibson and the Shroud of Turin. Seriously, the new evidence is wild. Today, I'm going to spill all the details, including this latest piece of evidence that's got scientists scratching their heads. Gibson's always had a thing for Jesus, but nothing has intrigued him more than the Shroud of Turin, which is said to be the cloth that wrapped Christ's body after he died. He's been talking about how recent tests on the shroud have proven that Jesus was real, and all those miraculous stories about him are totally legit. That's a huge claim, so let's dive into what's really happening here. First off, the shroud has this mysterious backstory and has been kept by the Catholic Church for ages. The idea that it was the cloth used for Christ's body got a big boost in 1898 when a photographer got the chance to snap some pics of it. He was super excited, and when he developed the negatives, he noticed a distinct shape of a man on it. This got a lot of believers buzzing, thinking this had to be the face of Christ. As science evolved, more tests were done. Some folks said it was a fake, while others insisted it was the real deal. The shroud only pops up briefly in the Bible, but the first serious attempt to figure out if it was legit happened in the 70s with a group of scientists called the Shroud of Turin Research Project, or STURP for short. They did a bunch of tests and concluded that the image on the cloth couldn't have been made by any amateur trickster, and there was no solid scientific explanation for how it got there. Then, in the 80s, more modern techniques came into play, like carbon dating, and 3 different teams all said it was a fake, crushing the hopes of many believers. But here's where it gets interesting. Recently declassified info revealed that those 3 teams didn't actually agree on their findings, which made their conclusions pretty questionable. Fast forward to now, and a group of 5 Italian scientists teamed up to use some cutting-edge X-ray tech to finally answer the age-old question, is the shroud the real deal? They tried out this new method called wide-angle X-ray scattering to check if the degradation of the linen matched the dates they thought the shroud came from. And get this, the results blew everyone away. They found that the linen really does date back to the 1st century. Just to be sure, they tested another piece of linen and ended up placing its dates between 55 and 75 AD, which is around the same time frame the STURP team had come up with. How crazy is that? But wait, this isn't the end of the story. It's really just the beginning. So, Joe and Mel are chatting about the shroud, and then Mel drops this wild idea that could totally change how we see it forever. If you look closely, there's something about the eyes that looks like a Tiberius coin. I mean, I haven't checked it out myself, but apparently there are images of Tiberius there. Take a closer look at the eyes. Can you see it? A little round shape. Pretty extraordinary, right? Could it actually be a coin? Not just any coin, but one from the time of Jesus. It's called a lepton, a tiny bronze coin from Emperor Tiberius's reign, around the time of Christ's crucifixion. Here's where it gets really mind-blowing. Some experts think this coin might have been placed over the eyes of the deceased. And get this, some researchers believe that what looks like a coin on the Shroud of Turin could actually be a Tiberius lepton. If that's true, it could be one of the most amazing discoveries of our time. So why does this matter? Well, in ancient Jewish burial customs, it was common to put a coin on the eyes of the dead to pay the ferryman for crossing the river Styx, symbolizing the soul's journey to the afterlife. If this coin is legit, and it's really from Jesus' time, could it be the exact coin placed over Jesus' eyes after he died? This tiny, seemingly unimportant coin could be the smoking gun that links the shroud directly to Jesus Christ. It would mean the shroud isn't just some old relic, but a powerful connection to the actual events of Christ's burial. Just imagine an artifact from the 1st century that fits perfectly into the historical context and might even be the most direct physical link to Jesus' death and burial. This discovery, this coin, this image on the shroud could totally change the game for believers. It could be the miraculous sign everyone's been waiting for. And for skeptics, it's solid evidence that needs a serious look. But hold on, this is just the tip of the iceberg. What's coming next is going to blow your mind. I'm about to share something so incredible that it's been kept under wraps for years. This isn't just another theory or a wild guess. It's real, tangible proof that could change everything we thought we knew about the shroud. All right, here's the scoop. In 2020, something happened that flipped the script. Researchers made a discovery so shocking you'd think it would be all over the news. They found a second face. Yup, you heard that right. A second face. But here's the twist. It's not on the front of the shroud, it's on the back, hidden and totally invisible to the naked eye. And it's not just some random smudge or shadow. It's a perfect, ghostly mirror image of the face we see on the front. If you're finding this content enjoyable and engaging, could you take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel? Your support means the world to us, and it helps us share this fascinating message with even more people. Thank you so much. Now let's dive back into the astonishing details. The enigma of the shroud is not simply a one-dimensional puzzle. The image that appears on the reverse side is not a mere painting or a stamped design. Rather, it is intricately woven into the very fibers of the cloth itself. And here's where it gets truly mind-blowing. The two faces depicted on the shroud align with remarkable precision. The wounds, the bloodstains, and the distinct facial features, they all correspond perfectly. This extraordinary alignment raises profound questions and invites deeper exploration into the mysteries surrounding the shroud and its significance. You know, it's important to recognize that this isn't merely a random coincidence or a simple anomaly that can be easily brushed aside. There is something profoundly intriguing about this phenomenon that science, despite its advancements, has yet to fully comprehend. Take a moment to consider the implications. If we were to entertain the idea that this was merely a fabrication from the medieval era, one must wonder how a person from that time would have managed to create an image on both sides of a piece of cloth without leaving any trace of brush strokes, pigments, or any other indications of how such a feat might have been accomplished. Moreover, this is not just any ordinary image we are discussing. It is an extraordinarily detailed and anatomically correct three-dimensional representation that aligns perfectly with the front side. The precision of this alignment is nothing short of astonishing. It raises the question of how such a sophisticated technique could have been executed, especially considering the limitations of technology during that period. The truth is, even with all the advanced technology at our disposal today, replicating this method remains beyond our reach. For years, scientists and researchers have been diligently examining this mystery, scratching their heads in bewilderment, trying to unravel the enigma behind it. The more they delve into the details, the more questions arise, and the less we seem to understand. This ongoing puzzle continues to captivate the minds of many, leaving us to ponder the extraordinary possibilities that lie beyond our current scientific explanations. The image featured on the back of the shroud is not merely a superficial marking. Rather, it penetrates the fabric in a remarkable way. The phenomenon that produced this image did not simply rest on the surface. Instead, it permeated the cloth itself. What's particularly astonishing about this image is that it exists at a depth of just a few micrometers. It resembles an intricate microscopic burn, yet intriguingly, there is no evidence of heat or any chemical alterations involved in its formation. Now, if we entertain the notion that the shroud is a forgery, we must ponder a perplexing question. How could a medieval artist, armed with nothing but rudimentary tools and lacking the advanced technology we take for granted today, such as lasers, computers, or other sophisticated devices, have possibly crafted a double-sided image that continues to baffle and elude explanation by modern science? The intricacy and precision of the image raise significant doubts about the feasibility of such an achievement in that era. Conversely, if we consider the possibility that the shroud is indeed authentic, we are left grappling with an even more profound mystery. What, then, could have caused such an extraordinary phenomenon? The implications of either scenario are remarkable, challenging our understanding of art, science, and perhaps even the very nature of existence itself. The shroud remains an enigma, inviting us to explore its depths and contemplate the secrets it may hold, whether as a masterpiece of deception or a genuine artifact that defies explanation. What sort of energy or event could possibly create such an incredibly precise and haunting image on both sides of the cloth? This question has intrigued researchers and scholars alike, leading many to propose that it indicates something truly extraordinary, something that eludes our current understanding. Some suggest that it could be evidence of a miraculous occurrence, perhaps a surge of energy released at the very moment of resurrection. This idea evokes thoughts of transformative events that transcend the natural laws we are familiar with, suggesting a divine or supernatural intervention that leaves a lasting imprint on the fabric of reality. Conversely, others speculate that the phenomenon could stem from entirely different sources, potentially involving natural processes or scientific principles that we have yet to uncover. This raises the tantalizing possibility that there are aspects of our universe, be they physical, metaphysical, or both, that remain hidden from our current scientific inquiry. The duality of interpretations invites a deeper exploration into the nature of existence itself, challenging us to reconsider what we know about energy, matter, and the very fabric of life. As we continue to investigate the mysteries surrounding this cloth, we may find ourselves on the brink of discovering not only the truth behind this haunting image, but also new dimensions of understanding that could reshape our perception of reality. Now, if you believe that what I've just shared is the entirety of this astonishing narrative, then hold on to your seat, because there's so much more to unravel. The enigma surrounding the Shroud of Turin is not just captivating. It is so monumental that it truly warrants its very own dedicated exploration. Imagine, for a moment, the possibility that the Shroud of Turin is intricately connected to one of the most fabled relics in history, a cloth known as the Mandalorian, or alternatively, the image of Edessa. This extraordinary piece of fabric is reputed to bear the miraculous imprint of Jesus' face, an image that was not crafted by the brush of any human artist, but rather, it is said to have been divinely bestowed upon the cloth. But here's where the plot thickens. The Mandalorian mysteriously vanished in the year 1204 during the tumultuous events of the Fourth Crusade. Then, quite astonishingly, the Shroud of Turin reemerges centuries later, sparking a flurry of speculation and intrigue. Could this be mere coincidence? Perhaps. However, consider the tantalizing prospect that these two artifacts might actually be one and the same. What if the shroud was carefully concealed, meticulously folded in such a way as to display only the visage of Christ, and then clandestinely smuggled out of the great city of Constantinople? Delving even deeper into this narrative, one might ponder whether the origins of this shroud stretch back not merely to the medieval period, but all the way to the 1st century, a time when the events surrounding the life and death of Jesus were still fresh in the minds of those who lived through them. The implications of such a connection are staggering, opening up a treasure trove of historical and theological inquiries that could reshape our understanding of these revered relics. So, as we peel back the layers of this mystery, the questions multiply, inviting us to explore the rich tapestry of history, faith, and legend intertwined in these sacred artifacts. Next time, we're diving into the crazy connection between the Shroud and the Mandalorian. It's a wild story full of mystery, intrigue, and historical twists that will definitely make you question everything. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.